How is the yellow on that so like unseeable? But that's what the Brewers deserve. Over these past month, there's always been the nagging little bit in my head during all of this. You know, May is supposed to be at the beginning of it, we play the fucking Brewers, Giants, and Mets at it, but at the end of it, we play two series against the Marlins, the White Sox, Rockies, and the Reds twice. This just screams we're going to lose every single series. Right? But that's for later. Let's think about the now. So, after some atrocities in Japan, we started out the season 0 and 2. So, unfortunately, we have to wait for these other fuckers to catch up in games. I think they have now. Yeah, they definitely have now, but it took a while. Brewers fans are sitting in there, some of them, not all of them, were like, "Oh, we'll catch up pretty easily," and then they were out of second place for the fucking Reds for a good bit. But anyhow, how's that day going for you today, Brewers? Oh, you only barely beat the White Sox by two. Oh, and then the Reds just get fucking destroyed. Okay, so you know, there definitely is some suspicious things with the Cubs this year. Whatever voodoo magic happens, poor guy. Apparently it's working. Whatever it is, it's working, and they're out once again on another hot start. But what makes it better is that these 13 losses aren't against schmucks. They're against actual teams. Let's start out with too much to March ball. Like, can we just start on April Fool's Day? I just don't really understand March baseball. Push. Why do we don't need that much February ball? But anyhow, we face the Diamondbacks in a four-game series. The Diamondbacks are there, of course. And Steely, he's starting. So obviously that means their catcher has to light his ass on fire and get 5 RBIs. I'm not kidding. Amaya was like the RBI leader at one point, but 10-6 to get our ass to 1 and 2. Pretty good. That's pretty good. And I'm not sure if that's going to continue, but obviously a pretty great day. So the next day we piss on all over that by only scoring 1 run, despite the fact the other team commits 3 errors. So not the greatest game. Honestly, I think I completely forgot that game, but the one RBI, PCA, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. But the next day we actually get a 1 run win. Wow, Imanaga gets the victory. Wahoo! Well, let's not talk about Italian starting in the previous game. You know, it was close. The defense again for Arizona was not good. 2 errors, Jesus. But Kyle Tucker bails us out once again. Also, we do not have a third or second baseman at this point. We get a second baseman at some point. Third baseman, no. But yeah, Shaw hits a home run. Wahoo! It's hunky dory. Kyle Tucker is making himself look pretty good. Amaya, for some reason, is looking goaded. And then we lose 10-6 to the Diamondbacks to actually, just have the series exist. So we end that in a 2-all draw with the Diamondbacks. And it really, really hurt when we gave up 8 runs in the eighth inning. This is a theme. We do not have a bullpen still. But our next series will be the easiest series by far, and a team that is definitely under 500. What do you mean that they're going to be up above 500 after this? This math does not make sense. It's the Oakland Athletics. But just before the end of March, we play the Oakland Athletics. And we start a new catcher, Carson Kelly. At this rate, it wasn't his first game, but it was his well, second true game of the season. And he gets 4 hits and hits for the cycle. And we win 18-3 because it is the Oakland Athletics. Sorry, the Athletics. I have to get used to saying that. Cal Tucker has 7 at bats. Well, I mean, everyone pretty much has 7 at bats, but it counts for 7 at bats. It's funny. It's absolutely funny. But our catcher gets the cycle, and he becomes the first ever player to hit a cycle in March. So I guess it's worth something to start games in March. Oh yeah, Kelly's our catcher. At this point, we have the best catcher duo in all of baseball. Why? I don't know. But once again, we then play the Oakland Athletics again and win 7-4. It got scary pretty early on when the Oakland Athletics scored 4. Thank goodness we at least scored 7. So, hallelujah. Suzuki carried hard. Good enough. And then the final game of that series is 10-2. So, a pretty easy sweep against the Athletics to finally get above 500. Suzuki does pretty well. Kyle Tucker's playing DH for whatever reason. And Shaw actually contributes something. So, pretty good. And even if Kelly doesn't get a hit, his aura just gives him an RBI. Wahoo. And now we go on and face the Padres. We face the Padres in 2 series. And this is a part of the run of just staying in the western part of the United States. Or at least playing teams. The first game is 3-1. Wahoo. That's it's great. It's great. I love it. I absolutely love it. Beating up on these teams, on these schmucks, mind you, and this was the San Diego Padres' first loss of the year. Also the first home game. So, something. It was at this point where we thought that Turner would actually be useful. He kind of was at this point. And then we Brazil, the Padres 7-1. This offense is pretty fucking good. Swanson hits a home run. That is one of his 5 home runs. It is average though. And Kelly gets 4 RBIs. I don't know how this man does it. Apparently, they said he got some lessons from Barry Bonds himself. Whatever, it's fine. Barry Bonds is pretty good at baseball, I heard. And then we lose the last game of the series. Can we just please sweep a series at some point? I don't know. It's starting out with a first inning that features 8 runs total, and then the team that actually won it shits it in the end. That's just not the greatest. Kyle Tucker proves his worth once again. Why do we have so many pinch hitters there? And 3 hits for Horner only gets 1 RBI. Come on, guys. Come on. And then now we go on and face the Rangers. As of right now, the Rangers are not doing so well and are losing to the Oakland Athletics. But at this point, they were 8-3. So if you had taken away our 2 losses at the beginning of the year, we would have been at the same record. So obviously, we shut them out 7-0 first try. I don't know, man. The second and third baseman duo, Birdie and Workman. I don't know what that means, but it means something, I think. I don't know. But that's pretty good. And then we beat them with 10-6. This team really loves scoring runs, but they really do give up a lot of runs, so I'm glad they do. If we didn't have an offense, if we didn't have the number one offense, we would probably be 500. Outside the top 10, we'd be under 500. There we go, Swanson. You did it. You did something. Wahoo. And then, of course, we should have at the end of that series. Of course, Imanaga, whatever, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh yeah, did I mention? I guess I forgot to mention at the beginning of the series we started Justin Steele. He came out of that Rangers game after 7 innings, and then sometime later, I'm not entirely sure when is later, but that's his last game of the year. He is out for the season at this rate. At this point, he is out for the season and a good chunk of next year as well. For an injury I had last year. I'm not kidding. He had this same injury last year, April 14th. That was when it was reported that he was going to have season ending surgery. They delayed it as much as possible. They were aiming for minimum IL stay, but then they seeked a second opinion. Turns out his elbow is fucked. Out for the season. Poor injury management by the Cubs there. Poor injury management. I don't like. If he had taken the surgery, because it's the same fucking injury that he had in September. Like, like he had that injury in September. Why was it not addressed then? Could have solved a lot of problems. It's fine. It's fine. You know what? It's fine. We can obviously lose our best starter. Obviously. Yeah. Yeah. We can survive the entire season with that. So at this point, he's toast, and now we're gonna have to start random guys that used to be our relievers. Cool. Did I mention there's at least like 3 days of rest for these teams? I don't get it. The fixture congestion does not exist. That's all I have to say. And now we go on to face the Dodgers once again, our biggest enemy. We lose 3-0. It was all in one inning. It was an Edman home run. I don't get it, but none of these guys were willing to hit the ball. In fact, they would keep striking out. And literally 3 base runners all game. Three, 3 base runners all game. This is just terrible. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. And clearly the team was fine because we scored 16 the next game. Just a casual 2 homer game for Carson Kelly. Some actual work for certain other guys. 16-0 was cathartic. It felt nice. Workman got his double. He got runs. Bahu didn't really help him the long run, but it was nice. And then we beat the Dodgers again 4-2. So that was good. We started the series with a loss this time, but still went 2-1 against the supposed best team, LA. Take that. Yeah. So our new starter, instead of having, our guy, our boy, Justin Steele, we're gonna have to start Colin Rea. The thing is that this man cannot get more than 4 innings on a usual basis. That's not good for a starter, by the way. This bullpen shit, bro. Whatever. And now we have to face the Padres again. And, obviously we would lose 10-4. It's not like this team is worth a crap, especially when Keller blows a save, apparently, in the sixth inning. And then Pearson fucks it up with more runs, and then Morgan fucks it up with more runs. Just a casual 9 runs in the final 3 innings of at bat for the Padres. At this rate, the Padres were 14-3. They're currently 19-11. I don't know why. They just fell off a cliff. So we were playing these teams at their peak. So obviously it was a shocker that we actually won a game in 10 innings. A triple. A triple after getting a sacrifice bunt from PCA. If only Machado had guys on base. And then we lose 2-4 in the next game. Because obviously, the offense has to shut off every once in a while. If only Hap could actually have base runners with his 3 hits, good lord. But now we are going to be facing once again, Jesus, that loud noise in the Diamondbacks. And there cannot be a normal game against these fuckers. 13-11. We hit the first double digit. They had double digits in the eighth inning. 10 runs in the eighth inning. We were down. What the fuck? We were down 11-7 after having a 7-1 lead. They had a 4 home run, a 3 home run, infield single, double. Because our guys keep throwing stupid shit. It became a triple. 10. Kelly bailout. Tucker bailout. Suzuki cherry on top. Crap ton of home runs. Yeah, Kelly's the GOAT again. 2 home runs, man. 2 home runs. Carson Kelly is one of the best hitters in all of baseball. He's second in WAR currently, just behind like a full 1 WAR behind Aaron Judge. God, that man is too fucking good. Both players are. And then 6-2 against the Diamondbacks. All of the action happened in the first 2 innings with a Tucker triple, a Tucker ground out for Amaya to score, and then 2 straight home runs. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. But and then the back to extra innings garbage. Down in the 11th inning after being able to score in the 10th inning to keep it alive. We cannot do anything with that man on second because Hap just conveniently double played right to the second baseman. That was one of the most unlucky things I've ever seen. But yeah. So now we're off to face the other 2 games of the Dodgers. So, from the Japan series, we obviously had to take 2 home games from us, not them, us. So again, we start out with a 3 run inning for first inning for the Dodgers, and then 5 runs for us. Another fireworks game that ends 11-10 on a walk-off single in the 10th inning. All because Amaya bailed us out in the ninth inning. God, I love the long ball. So great to have an offense for once. And then we sweep the Dodgers in that tiny series, 7-6. So take that, bitches. PCA 4 RBI game. I love it. They'll move them up one day. And now we go face the Phillies. The Phillies are 500. They're not the greatest, but it could be worse competition. We shut them out 4-0. Uh, Rhea finally gets his first victory because he can go 5 innings. Good job, you did it. I'm so proud of you. It's fine. And then we give up 10 against the Phillies. 6 runs in the fourth, man. 10-4. Who was starting? Right, Brown, the guy that I don't really think like he can start, but when he's not consistently getting 6 innings, it's just too much strain on the fucking bullpen, dude. It's just too much strain. And then to top it off, another 10 inning loss because that was some pretty terrible management by the Cubs at the end there. Nothing good came out of that. Nothing good. And then we finally get an under 500 opponent. That is under 500 as of now. The Pirates, 11 and 19. We shut them out 9-0. Suzuki was a single short of getting the second cycle of the year for the Cubs. That's something, I guess. Oof. He came in his single. I God know that, but yeah, yeah, pretty good. So we obviously should sweep the. Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. Man falls from wall, and we still lose. Swanson had 3 hits yet, and no RBIs. Birdie even tried. Didn't get enough. Didn't get enough. It was 4-3 to the fucking Pirates. They're starting. They're starting 38-year-old Andrew McCutcheon on daily basis. We can't. So pretty long video, of course, again, but we've gone through this part of the season and we are already down Steely, and that's pretty much the only guy that we're down. However, there is another development. Javier Assad, the man that was supposed to be the fourth starter instead of fucking Rhea or Brown or any of the other guys that we're going to be throwing out on a daily basis. Italian, probably better than those guys. So I guess maybe third. He was down in the minors, trying to rehab from his injury. He fucked the injury again. He's now on 60-day IL. He just got put on 60-day IL. I don't know how many games he's already on that, but fucking hell. Fucking hell, dude. That's just not great. And recent changes in the lineup have kind of helped. I mean, Kelly moved up to fifth. Uh, PCA is still somehow down to seventh. Okay, whatever. Is PCA up for? No, he's still at seventh in this one. But yeah, still him being down there is still annoying. We fired Workman because he was being terrible at defense. So have fun with that. I think this month was probably the best that you could ask for from the Cubs. I don't even think the best Cubs teams probably would do better. And as of right now, we're sitting in April with uh, the best offense in the entire league. Defense, defense. Um, only the Pirates have given up more runs than us in the division. 137. I mean, at least the Dodgers also are ass with defense, so yeah, whatever. 18 and 13. And looking on to the next part of the schedule, we should be able to at least clean house a bit. We have the final game of the Pirates series, the Brewers, the Giants, the Mets. I don't expect them to do much against Giants or the Mets. I just hope that we continue the NL West father movement. But then we got the Marlins, the White Sox, the Marlins, Reds, Rockies, Reds. Like, good lord. Why are you giving us those teams now? Why? What? Why did you have to make April so fucking hard? I mean, I guess it gets out those teams out of the way, and now we have tiebreaker over the Diamondbacks and the Padres. I think we have tiebreaker over those teams, or actually maybe not against the Padres. We're tied 3-3. Maybe on runs. Who knows? But like just being down Steely hurts, and I think that's gonna affect him more than just 25. We're gonna have to scramble for another starter for the first part of 26. Depending on how stingy this injury is, he probably will be on a pitch count in 26 for pretty much the rest of it. So just Chris Archer 2.0. So that's gonna suck as usual. Um, I just I hope that we at least keep or extend this 2 game lead that we have as of right now over the Brewers and the Reds. Like, I just hope that we continue that and we take the series against the Brewers, and then we take at least the first series against the Reds. That's all I ask for. I don't know how well you're gonna do against the Mets. Like the Mets are a fucking machine and I don't understand why. Well, I do understand why. It's utterly hilarious and the Mets are finally good and everyone else in their division is completely ass. At least the Marlins are 12-18 though. So progress. It's still better than the fucking Rockies. Everyone in the NL at least has 12 wins. The Rockies have five. 5 wins. 5 wins. And the funny thing is that that's a stat pad because they just beat the Braves today. Why? I don't know. The Braves are terrible, but hopefully we can continue this. I feel like if we survive May, it'll be the tipping point to actually, being able to win this division. If we do not have a good May, if we finish 500 in May or anywhere below that, that's going to be cause for concern because that means that we lost a good amount of games to the Marlins or, you know, the Marlins, the White Sox, the Reds, the Rockies. That means that we lost a good chunk of those games because the Giants and the Mets only account for 6 games. Cool. But who knows? Maybe I'm just a bit too wary of previous seasons, and we'll do fine. We'll do fine without Steely. We'll do fine with Justin Turner being a glorified hitting coach. We'll be fine with having our catchers bail us out of offensive ineptitude. Maybe tomorrow we can actually score 10 runs against the Pirates. Maybe. But uh, hopefully hopefully we'll do good. Continue the lead. Fights for NL Central supremacy. Please. Please do that. Please. We need to actually win this division for once. We can't just not win the division this year. We have all the talent. Also, Tucker, the contract update, there's nothing. He is probably going to be a free agent after this season. I hate it. I hate it so much, bro. I don't, I don't know. I don't, whatever. Let's just continue the grind. Continue the grind. Yeah. Continue the grind. Be good. Please have a good day. I will see you later. Oh no. Bye.